Captain Flannel. Today we've got the CZ75 SP-01. Now I've had this for maybe 4 or 5 years. Several competitions with it, put thousands of rounds through it. I've shot it with all the different spring systems. I've shot it suppressed. Threaded barrel. Not threaded barrel. I've even concealed carry this sucker, if you can believe that. I have, and I did for a while. Wouldn't recommend it, but it wasn't terrible. So it's about time that this bad boy gets a solid review. So here we go. A couple of important notes before we get started and go full send on this review. Number one, you need to subscribe to the channel, naturally. Number two is that you need to get on the email list, which will have a link in the description and the comment section. How this works is, as a hobby, I scour the internet all day, every day, every site. I look for ammo deals, gun part deals, optic deals, and gear deals, and then I forward it to all my friends, buddies, shooting buddies, accomplices, and potentially you. And then we all get to partake in the excellent deals before they expire. So check it out, and onto the review. 1, the price. So MSRP from CZ is like $800, but that's never quite real. So PSA's got these for about $700, I believe. I'll throw a link to this exact model in the comment section, pinned right at the top, so you can find it easier. Click the link, it'll go through and it'll show you all your specs, price, all the details that I would bore myself if I tried to read to you. So that's basically the going rate for them. Now, with that, you're gonna get 2 mags. You're going to get a full steel framed firearm. It's got this blocky, chunky lower, and then it's got the inverted slide that gives you a lower bore axis for a little better recoil. And this is a good starting point. For $700, you get a gun that you can stop right there and use it like that forever, or you can slowly bankrupt yourself over time and try to turn this into a race gun, which is very, very common. So that's pretty much it for value. 2, reliability. So as far as reliability is concerned, I don't really clean my guns that much. I shoot too many times where if I cleaned spotless after every range trip, all I'd ever be doing is cleaning guns. So I basically just left this sucker dirty most of the time that I had it. Ammo wise, I basically shot garbage, steel, some really dirty, not even name brand steel case, a lot of remanufactured. I basically shot trash through it the whole time I had it, including matches, and it never gave me any problems. I even switched out springs later on. It always ran like a champ. I've never had anything break. I never had to do any maintenance. Reliability, I would give it 5 stars. It has no problem. Not much more to say than that. 3, weight and recoil. Now, this definitely has a little bit of a weight problem. It's around 40 ounces empty, and it holds 18 rounds in their standard mag. So you're talking 18 rounds 9mm, 40 ounces to begin with. Sometimes you throw a flashlight on there, occasionally a suppressor, and it is a monster. It is very heavy to carry, although I have carried it, but it is really heavy. On that note, when you are shooting and you're all braced up, the recoil is almost comical because it's so low. I mean, there's probably 22 pistols that have more recoil than this, which is why a lot of guys like to trick them out and use them as, you know, really flashy race guns because it's so heavy. It's like just a counterweight against your recoil. So weight and recoil, pros and cons, tough to carry, great to shoot. 4, trigger and accuracy. So you've got your double action trigger, then you've got your single action trigger, double single. And yes, for you CZ fanboys, I am aware you can cause some damage with dry firing with the CZ75, disclaimer. But accuracy wise, it is an absolute tack driver. Now, the double single doesn't have quite as good of a trigger as the safety model, which is a common thing for double singles. But even so, if you look closely at it, it actually doesn't have a terrible take up, but more than you would hope for. But the break is very nice. The only killer for me is that the reset is quite long. So when you're trying to get your splits and be real snappy with follow-up shots and stuff like that, or like maybe a 6-round burst to do the bill drill, as they call it, you really start to feel that reset is a little longer than you'd hope for, which is why people end up sending it to Cajun Gunworks and doing all kinds of trigger modifications. So trigger is a really good combat trigger, as they say, but it needs a little bit of tuning up and work to be where you want it. And then double action is always quite heavy, which is expected. One of the reasons I slowly have become a striker fire person and not a hammer fire person is mainly because double single is not really my thing. But accuracy wise, this is one of the most accurate pistols I've ever shot, and especially when it comes to double singles, it's one of the best factory double singles that I've messed with.